arrived. What a beast of a journey. I'm absolutely shattered. Just over 7 hours, I reckon. 8:30 at night. But I always like to do that on a big drive when I know I'm going to be kipping in the car, if you can even see that. It is cosy back there. I'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow. But yeah, I like to do a big drive so that when I get here, just like now, I'm pretty shattered and ready to just dive in the back and sleep. Looking forward to this adventure. 2, maybe 3 nights, see how we get on. I'm right up in the northwestern highlands of Scotland, getting your beauty. And yeah, I'll probably be a little bit more enthusiastic in the morning. But for now, I'm going to get in there. I've got a couple of books to read because I haven't really got a plan. I've got the Scotland Wild Guide and Ye Olde Photographing Scotland by Photoview. A couple of beasts that are going to help me choose locations, and it is blowing a gale out there, let me tell you that. So hopefully that eases off for the morning, but we are in Scotland, right up north, so we'll wait and see. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, I just caned my hip off my food box. The reality of car camping. Oh, that really did hurt that. Right, bit of an update. Oh, goodness me. It's not quite as smooth as a camper van, is it? Quite low down. Tell you what, I'll get my tummy. There we go. Look at that. Get this beast on the go in a second. Get the hair ready for the day. Oh, so rain. It was hammering it down all night. I think I've had a pretty decent sleep. I have got a really good setup in the back here, to be honest. It's as comfy as I could get. You know, sleeping in the back of a car, sleeping within a metal box. But yeah, I think I've had a pretty decent one. Woke up to like howling winds again. The wind's not died off, but the rain as well. And it was forecast, so it's a bit of a shame because I can't cook or anything. You know, I had really nice plans of, you know, cooking some nice bacon outside the car in the morning, but not a chance out in this. So the reality's set in somewhat. But where are they at? I've had a good read through my books. This one in particular is actually really good for this area, the Scotland Wild Guide. And I've got 2 or 3 locations all right close to here. Whoa, wrecking the place. So that's good. And on top of that, the forecast states it's supposed to start easing off, well, the rain and the wind that is, as the day progresses. So that's really good, but we'll see. And I think, because I can't cook or anything, it leaves me with only one choice. So, before we get to the destination, which is, you guessed it, it's a cafe. You knew I was going to a cafe. Bit of car photography. Look at this, we've got the 24-200mm on. And yeah, as I'm driving down here, which is this gorgeous single track road, it's just mountains and rivers on either side of me. It's stunning. But what we've got is loads of low cloud off in the distance. And then this particular mountain, sort of over here, through the windscreen somewhere in the cloud, I promise. His ridgeline is being revealed every now and again as the clouds pass in front of him, and it's gorgeous because the mountain itself is black, like jet black, and then the clouds, it's quite bright still, even though there's a lot of low clouds. So the cloud that's lingering amongst the mountain is white, so it's a gorgeous contrast. So really abstract. I'm on the 24-200, ISO 64, 1/80th of a second, and f/6.3. What were we zoomed in at? About 65mm. So we weren't really zoomed in. In fact, I think that's probably a reflection of how big the mountain is and the ridgeline. I'm just going to grab a shot here. This is looking amazing. I'll just take my lens cap off. Oh, absolutely stunning. Right, first shot of the trip from the comfort of the car. Hope you like it, and let's crack on to that cafe. So, oh, it is nice to be out and about. What a treat. The time has come to embrace this Scottish weather, because we are in Scotland. You know, we're in the northwest Highlands of Scotland. I'd be a bit freaked out if it wasn't nailing it down, you know. So I've got to get out. I can't be sitting in the silver box, the silver metal tin, just moaning about it. It is what it is. I've driven all this way. Let's get stuck in. So I've chosen 2, maybe 3 locations in a really sort of small area, and all require not too much walking from the car, just because of the rain, which, by the way, has died off slightly. I don't want to say that. But what's fantastic is there's no wind. I don't know if the wind's died down or if we're just, you know, a little bit sheltered. You can see there's some mountains off in the background there. I'll tell you what though, I'm feeling so much better now I'm out and about. Naturally, you know, cooped up in the car. Of course it's going to feel great. This is why I'm here. So yeah, I'm hiking now to what is, I believe, a waterfall. So all I'm trying to do is turn the tables, you know, and embrace it, like I said, but more specifically with regards to the photography. Like I always say, accept the challenge. This is what I've got, and try and figure out what sort of landscapes I want to photograph. Do I want woodland, coastal, lochs? Do I want to go out on a hike? You know, I'm in this wonderful area around Torridon. I've got everything you could wish for is here as a landscape photographer. It is mad. So naturally I've thought, we've had a lot of rain. As I've been driving around, all I've seen is water. Waterfalls all over the shop, roaring, muddy footpaths. Don't know how I'm going to get around this. I could go here, guys. I could go for a swim. We're all right, we've made it. So yeah, naturally I thought, let's find a waterfall. This one was in the Wild Guide book. We'll go and have a look. I think it's going to be roaring, to say the least. But, like I said, just trying to be a chameleon. Change my colours to the colours of Scotland, which is grey at the minute. But anyway, let's crack on. This is absolutely gorgeous. Let me do a bit of a 360. This is just, I'm absolutely loving it. There's some people out on a big, don't know if you're going to see that, load of motorcyclists. Quality. Let's go and see what it's got to offer. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? And it is roaring, just as we predicted. Oh, this is quality. So, I feel like, you can see the mountains off in the background there. I feel like this is one of those where it's a really obvious photograph, you know? There's no need to dilly-dally, there's no need to mess about, especially when it's nailing it down. It's a scene that presents itself to you as a photographer, and you just take it how it is. You know, you ain't got to mess around here. So all I'm thinking is waterfall in the foreground, some of these mountains in the background. To be fair, it's really atmospheric. The first thing that I thought when I got here was, oh, it's such a shame there's loads of beautiful mountains off in the background that I can't see because of the low cloud. However, it's quite nice because the ones that we can see are just full of atmosphere. So all my job is here as the landscape photographer is to try and capture the emotion of this scene. The main emotion that I'm feeling is probably fear of the intensity of water coming down this fall here. So I want to be really careful with my shutter speed and make sure that I try and capture that moving water, retain a little bit of the detail, but yeah, all in all, try and capture the emotion. I do want to tweak my composition a little bit, so I'll get myself set up and talk you through my ideas. Oh, look at the barns! Absolute drowned rat! So the rain, it's not letting up. but we're out here living the dream. This is quality. So I finally decided on a shot, and like I said, I've tweaked the composition just a little bit. But yeah, I definitely feel like this is a photograph, or this is going to be a photograph that just embraces the day and the location and everything that's come together for my visit, you know, and that's what it's all about. So we've got the 24-200 lens on the front, and I'm zoomed in around about 30mm. The main thing that I've done here to try and tweak this composition is to eradicate this waterfall on your left hand side from the photograph altogether. So we're using that sort of photographer's perspective, you know. This is the photographer's prerogative. I don't want that in my photograph. So if you didn't see this video now, you wouldn't even know there was a little bit of that waterfall there. All I want is this one here, mountains in the background, and I'm using a little bit of visual weight in the, I've got all these falls here on the left hand side of the frame, the bottom left, and then we're going to have the sort of mountain off in the background there on the top right of the frame. So it's like a diagonal left-right balance, you know, which is quite natural at this perspective. I don't really need to do much, like I was saying before. So I've got the 6-stop neutral density filter on the front, and I'm getting a shutter speed of around about 1/4 or 1/6 of a second, which I'm finding works perfectly to capture the movement and the drama of this water, these waterfalls. Absolute quality. And that's the main thing, you know, the shutter speed here is so important so that I can get this emotion across in the photograph. There's been a little bit of trial and error, and I always find it's the same. Whenever you're photographing moving water, it's always different. You know, you might be on the coast and it's nice and calm and the water's moving really slow. You know, the waves are lapping up against some rocks. It'd be a completely different shutter speed. You know, I ain't going to shoot this at 5 seconds. It'd just be a complete white mess. Still want to retain a little bit of detail in the water. So yeah, 6-stop on the front. I'm having to bump my ISO up to about 800, I think, so as I can get that shutter speed. That's because it's so like dingy. But no, it's really atmospheric, and it's gonna work really well for the photograph, you know. Nice bit of atmosphere off there in the mountains, and that's that. Let's grab it now. This is purely just for effect. Taking the shot now because the ND filter is probably littered with raindrops. But really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a nice photograph. And I really feel like I'm going to have captured the essence of this morning, where it could have gone wrong. I could have gone completely miserable, but I've embraced it. I hope you like this one, and I'm going to rush back to the car, probably have a bit of drink, and then head off to location number 2. So, as you've just seen, Lucozade from the cool box, electric cool box, living the dream. Dark chalky digestives. I don't think it gets much better. I do love a rich tea, but I need to have a cup of tea with it. Can't make a cup of tea at the minute because of the rain. Hopefully we can get onto that soon. So I'm going to head to the next location after I've had these. I'm not eating all the biscuits, I'll have a couple. And it's only about 10 minutes away, but it should be completely different. So I'm looking forward to it. Rain's still coming down, but still feel all right about it. I was just thinking then, whilst I'm here in Scotland, I'll probably make a video that's purely just dedicated to my car camping setup. I love watching stuff like that on YouTube, but I know at least a few of you would probably be interested in what I've brought with me. I've purchased 1 or 2 like mod cons just to make it a little bit more comfortable for me whilst I'm here, because I've done car camping in the past where it's just been pretty grim, like proper sacrifice. Yoga mat on you know, on the car, on the floor of the car in the back, and cold. So yeah, first sleep in it last night in the car with all the extras, and it was really cozy actually. It was spot on. But yeah, that'll be a whole nother video. So, Lucozade, chalky digestives, dark chocolate at that. And then on to the next location. Oh, absolutely stunning. Look at that. So we're looking out towards Loch Shieldaig, and actually a lot of the peninsulas that you can see over there, kind of right on the other side of, it's a completely different peninsula is what I'm trying to say, and the only way you can get to it is to go all the way around what is upper Loch Torridon, and you know, you can eventually reach it there. But I'm thinking about the photography, obviously, and it's one of these instances where the background is gorgeous, absolutely sorted. So all my job is to go down this peninsula that we're on here and try my best to find some foregrounds looking back out, because this is a sea loch here, and like I said, it's just peninsulas galore out there. Sky, how are we looking? Sky's quality. Look at this. Hope you can see that. You know, earlier on I'd say it was a little bit more bleak, particularly when I was photographing that waterfall. There wasn't really any detail in the sky, it was just very grey. To me, this is completely different. You know, we've got detail, different types of, you can actually see the clouds rather than it just being a big patch of grey, a big canvas, if that makes sense. But yeah, oh, some boats out there as well. It is just absolutely gorgeous and a real sort of untouched feeling to it, you know. So yeah, I'm going to continue down this track here and see what we can find in terms of foreground. Quality. What a location. This is gorgeous and not a soul about, not a soul. I think I know how I want to take the photograph. Ooh, there's a bit of rain, there's a bit of rain. It has actually cleared up a little bit, you can probably tell in the background. You can actually see some of the mountains. Are you thinking what I'm thinking here? I mean, you're probably not, but I think I might have to get in. I might have to get in here. Me, leave the camera gear here, strip off. Let me show you this, right? Earlier when I went to the waterfall, I was packing my camera bag up and I couldn't see my microfiber cloth, and I thought, oh, it's raining, I need my cloth. Couldn't find it, so I put this in. Hang on. Oh, I chucked this in, which is a travel towel. Ended up finding my microfiber cloth, it was just buried in my bag, but this is just in my bag, all right? And I've got like Nike Pros on under my waterproof pants, like you know, like cycling shorts, just by chance, honestly. So it's a telltale sign. I'm getting in. I'm getting in. Oh my goodness, Christ alive, that is nippy. Oh, it's all about controlling the breathing. Oh yes. This is a little bit nippy, like. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mr. Seagull. I tell you what, I know I jest about living the dream, but this can't be far off. Oh. Oh, we're getting a bit of light. Now, that was fresh, let me tell you that. First time I've seen light in ages. As good as that was, and it was, that was good stuff. I feel like buzzing now, you know. I forgot it was a sea loch, so I thought it was fresh water. I thought I'll go in and get a bit of a wash as well whilst I'm here, because obviously I can't wash myself back in the 5-star hotel, the Peugeot. I forgot it was a sea loch, so it's salt water. So Now I'm just covered in salt water, but it was definitely worth it. Right, let's get the garms back on, eyes on the prize. I want to get the camera out. Oh, we are set up. This is going to be a well cool photograph. So my initial plan was to go a bit further back up here, up to this bank, and we had a kind of a higher view down onto this bay, which was my initial idea. But as I was coming back, I found all this like sort of seaweed stuff here. I don't know what it's called. Nice rock pool, and the rocks themselves are gorgeous. This nice sort of shingly or pebble beach, and then you know, look at the way it leads out. It's asking for it. It leads us out into the bay, into the water. We've got this lovely wooded peninsula there, which is fantastic. It's given us this like a bit of a tropical sort of feel almost. You know, the water is a bit turquoisey, and then we've just got the black mountains in the background with some clouds lingering on the top. Absolutely stunning. So my initial idea was to get the wide angle lens on, you know, and shoot this wide, get really close to this seaweed or whatever it is on the rocks here, and have a real strong foreground right at the bottom of the frame. Now that's what I've done, but because I'm on a full frame camera now, 24mm's fine, you know, I'm finding that's wide enough. I'm getting a good usage out of the, you know, how the screen sort of flips out here, by the way, because it's proper slippy here. It's really slippy. So yeah, it's nice to be able to just be here and look at the photograph. Oh, it looks really cool on the back of the camera. So f11, ISO 64 and 1/15 of a second. I don't want a long exposure or anything here. There's just no point. But honestly, oh, looking at it now, the way the clouds are sitting on the mountain in the background, it is stunning, and there is so much detail in those clouds. I feel really fortunate, you know, because before, like I said, it was just grey and I couldn't really do anything with them clouds. But certainly that is heck of an improvement. Obviously in portrait dimension, and that's just because, like I said, it is just naturally sort of leading us out, and it's quite sort of narrow, you know. It's just the seaweed here, the rock pool, the peninsula and the mountains. Don't need to go landscape because I don't need to get all of this wood in. And in fact, I don't know if you can see that in the background. It looks like there's some sort of, I don't know what it is, like a salmon farm maybe out there. There's like a boat. So I'm trying to avoid getting that in the photograph. But that's that. The only other thing I'll say is that I am focus stacking it. Probably like 4 shots. I really want to make sure the seaweed stuff down here and the rocks are nice and pin sharp. We've got some nice shells and stuff. But then equally the background I want to make sure is nice and sharp as well, because of that detail in the clouds and in the mountains and cliffs. Absolutely class. There we go, we are back in the hotel, and what a hotel it is, not a penny spent. Oh, that was quality, let me tell you that. So it is like clearing up a little bit. It's probably got a bit windier, but we're getting sort of gaps of light every now and again. So I don't want to call it a day just yet. Perhaps it's the Lucasades. So I'm going to move on to a different location, heading sort of south down towards the Kyle of Lacalche, fairly close to the Isle of Skye, and I've got a couple of locations in mind, you know, as per the books and stuff. But yeah, just a case of driving down the A road, seeing where it takes me. I need my keys. So, I am I'm exactly 22 minutes from my next destination, which is where I'm going to spend the night. I'm quite tired actually. I've driven a bit longer than I thought I was going to, but I'm really excited about this next spot. Once again, it's going to be something a little bit different, and that will be next week's video. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new, subscribe so that you can see next week's video. You'll get a notification. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week for the next adventure. Out.